Welcome to the WMMA Today podcast, where Drake and me, Steve,
I wish that we would have started early just so that would have recorded.
are going to be talking about everything going on in women's MMA this week. Um, we have a pretty full lineup where we will be talking about Bellator 249, the recap with Cyborg and not too anger fist Blenko. UFC Fight Island 6 recap. There were a couple fights there. Some fan questions. That means tweets that were tweeted out to us. A bunch of news. A shit ton of news, actually. And then a UFC 254 preview. And then somebody to watch for. So let's get started with the Bellator 249 recap, where Chris Cyborg completely demolished poor Arlene Blancow, who absolutely had no chance in that fight. Like, it was just a mauling, as you can see in the picture there on screen. Chris Cyborg, I mean, that was basically the fight. I mean, that's what the fight looked like.
Yep. It was definitely a bummer from a competitive standpoint, like we were hoping to be and everything. Hoping it to be. I mean, it's crazy too because I think that Arlene, she didn't show like fear or anything like we were saying she needed to not, and she obviously didn't land very many strikes, but the ones that she did land early, they were good. She looked capable on the feet and everything, but Cyborg was just not having it in this fight.
She was too
Went out
dominant,
there
man.
and just completely imposed her will. And the biggest bummer for me, the saddest part of it all is that, we talked about it the whole way leading up to this fight, how Bellator did a piss poor job of exposing and putting Arlene more out in the spotlight and everything like that.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people, unfortunately, this was their first time seeing Blanco fight, which does
Sucks.
her a complete disservice to
It's
how
terrible.
good she actually is.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Like like this was a phenomenal win for Cyborg to be able to do that to Blanco because nobody's really been able to do that to Blanco since she really like became an MMA fighter. And I mean, you look at her only two losses to Julia Budd in the last, so long time now. Like Budd got nowhere near close to doing that to Cyborg, and Julia Budd is very good, one of the greatest featherweights of all time. The second greatest featherweight, I think, is fair to say. And yeah, Cyborg just went out there, imposed her will, like I said. Put the pressure on, landed strikes, used her grappling to great effect to get her very first submission of her career,
Crazy.
as she
Great.
as she
That's a
wanted to
wild
do.
stat.
Yeah.
Wild stat that was Chris Cyborg's first submission.
Yeah, definitely. It was smart game plan by her to not trade with Blanco. Not that she needs to be safe or anything, but
Yeah.
it was like if you're gonna do something for your best chance to victory and show that you're not one dimensional, even though we know the Cyborg is not one dimensional. She's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. It's great. She has great grappling. We just never see it because she never needs to use it. Similar to, there's other fighters like that, but I think she's probably the best example of it. I mean, Nunes is also a very good example, but we've seen Nunes finish people on the ground before, utilize her grappling a lot more than Cyborg. So, yeah, man, it was bummer from the Blanco side of things, obviously, but Cyborg, man, just not slowing down at all, which is
Nah, dude. She's legit as
horrifying.
fuck. She's legit as fuck. I mean, it's pretty crazy that people still say that she's not one of the best female fighters ever. I mean, it's just wild to me. Like the hate that Chris Cyborg gets is fucking crazy.
I don't think she gets as much anymore as maybe she used to. Well, I mean, definitely not. Because if you think about it, Cyborg used to be
Well, no,
very, very hated on.
not as much as she used to get, because I mean that was just fucking ridiculous. That was like He was like the most hated fucking fighter in the world at one point.
And the thing about that is too that that wasn't entirely her fault. You know, her management and people running her social media and stuff made it very hard to like her when it actually wasn't her, which I think was most of that there. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a crazy saga for Cyborg in that regard. But I think it's turned a lot of people around, and the it sucks now that man, the two fights that I really want to see, we are never gonna see. You know, Cyborg versus GDR or the Nunez rematch. Those are the most
Yeah.
exciting ones, and not a
So
chance.
Ho- Ariel Hawani tweeted out something about who Chris Cyborg is should fight next, and I responded with Kayla Harrison. I think that Kayla Harrison's a legit. If she can get out of that PFL, that sorry ass PFL contract, and if she can go, because she has said that she wants to fight Chris Cyborg. She has said that she's down for that fight. If she can get out of that sorry ass PFL contract and go to Bellator, sign with Bellator, and they can come up with a catch weight or something, it would be fucking amazing. It would be an amazing fight. I think it would be fun. I don't think we're there yet because PFL. I mean, first of all, they said what yesterday that they have a 2021 season coming up, and they gave like dates and stuff. Dude,
Hilarious.
what are you doing? I mean, fuck are you doing? Make some a couple events. I've said this a couple of times on this podcast. Make a couple of events in November, December, if not just December, in Las Vegas. I mean, they talked about a bubble in 2021 in Las Vegas. Why not do it now in 2020? In 2020, the UFC's doing it. Bellator's doing it in Connecticut, and they did it in what, Milan and then Paris. Why can't the PFL pull their heads out of their ass, book a couple fight cards in Las Vegas in a bubble, make those fighters happy, get them a couple fights, get them paid, and then start a new season in 2021. Then talk about 2021. But you're talking about 2021 now when there's a lawsuit against you, when there's clearly so many fighters that are pissed off at you. You have Rory McDonald, a champion from Bellator that you signed, still hasn't even fought for you, and it's been like a year and a half or something like that. Dude, it's crazy what PFL's doing. So they should just let Kayla Harrison go elsewhere to Bellator, to fucking fight Amanda Nunes. I don't give a fuck at this point. Just have her fight somebody. I mean, she's gonna run through anybody that PFL gives her anyway.
Yeah,
Just
no, definitely.
just give Kayla Harrison the opportunity to go get a big fight against Chris Cyborg or Amanda Nunes.
I don't think the Nunez slash Kayla Harrison in the UFC thing is a very good possibility whatsoever,
Well,
but
I don't necessarily think that Chris Cyborg is either, because
I think it's a lot better of a chance.
PFL's stupid.
Well,
Because PFL's fucking stupid and they do stupid ass shit. But if they would just fucking let these fighters fight elsewhere up until their 2021 season, then they wouldn't get as much hate as what they're getting, and their fighters would be happy.
and not suing them.
Right. I mean, they have a legitimate lawsuit against them right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. And the thing is, like, I think they're gonna fight tooth and nail to keep, especially Kayla, especially
especially
Kayla, of
Kayla.
all
Yeah,
fighters for as long as they possibly can, which sucks for her. Reminds me a little bit of
terrible.
Bellator and Eddie Alvarez. You remember that saga, which
I
was
do. Yeah,
they just really didn't want to let him go as he
they
wanted
fucked
to get
Eddie
away.
over.
Yeah, it took him a lot longer to get a UFC than he needed to. He was out for like a full year just because of negotiation bullshit.
Yeah,
Um, I could see something similar happening with Kayla just because she is arguably their biggest star. Um, but
next to Rory
yeah,
McDonald now. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
true, true.
and they haven't even had Rory McDonald fight yet. So as far as like active fighters, Kayla Harrison's the biggest person that they got. I mean, she's bigger than Lance
And
Palmer,
homegrown,
who
yeah.
absolutely homegrown, just like Lance Palmer. You know, he's won 2 years in a row, but he's not as big of a name as Kayla Harrison is.
No. And I mean, it's the funny thing too is like they want out, openly want out. The PFL is going to have to drastically, they're going to have to pay up big time. They're going to have to do everything the fighters want to salvage
Yeah,
these relationships here. And as for Cyborg versus Kayla, I mean there's nothing left for Kayla in the PFL now, right?
no,
They would have to bring in new people, which at this rate, I think good luck with that. Even though they did just make some odd signings, but I'm going to assume there might be some weirdness to that behind the scenes, potentially involving a certain management group. I didn't look too deep into it, but that would be my guess. And yeah, Kayla versus Cyborg. Sign me up, man. You remember I was calling for that like after her second fight. Like, fuck it, let's go. Why not? That judo is enough to get me interested. And I mean, I think that if Kayla leaves PFL, that is pretty much her only option because I mean, or you could go to Ryzen and
you can go
fight
right
Gabby
now.
or something. But I don't think just from what I know, I don't think that Ryzen's very interested in Gabby anymore. Which good on them because it was a bit extreme the results that we got with that whole experiment. But
Yeah, she was fighting fucking grandmas.
fighting grandmas. But Kayla versus Cyborg, I think that Cyborg would be down for that, and she'd be willing to fight at 155 if Kayla wanted, because
I think so.
whether Kayla can or cannot make 145, like we've kind of went back and forth on this a couple weeks ago, I don't think she'll even want to try, really, depending. I think it depends on things.
She's
But
a
the
big
fact that,
girl.
yeah, she is got a very large frame on her, and
Yeah, she's
she's
thick. She's fucking thick, dude.
thick with three C's.
Oh yeah, she's extra thick. She's got those. She's got those killer thighs, dude. You ever seen her? You ever look at her legs?
Yeah, I mean she's muscular everywhere.
Yeah,
She's a beast of a woman.
yeah.
And I say that complimentary.
Oh,
That's a
absolutely.
complimentary term.
Oh fuck yeah. You call Chris Cyborg a beast, dude. She's fucking bigger than Chris Cyborg. She's a lot bigger than Chris Cyborg.
Yeah, but the point I'm getting at is I think that Cyborg will happily not cut an extra 10 pounds to
Yeah,
take that fight, which would be they could sell that very easily despite Kayla not having a crazy extensive MMA background. That's a very sellable fight, and something
yeah.
very unique. So, um, I don't know. I don't know if how soon that possibility could happen. We obviously have to wait and see how the whole PFL shenanigans go, but as of right now, I think they've dug themselves into quite a hole. So,
Yeah, I mean, saying that they have a 2021 calendar, they give dates and all that. Such a bad look for them. Such a bad look. Like
just right
people,
after all this stuff.
people aren't taking them seriously. People are not taking PFL seriously. I mean, I'm not. I enjoy PFL. I enjoy the tournaments. I love the fuck out of them.
It's
But
innovative shit.
yeah, but they keep doing stupid crap, and they keep killing themselves. I wouldn't be surprised if they have, they had all of those investors. I wouldn't be surprised if investors start dropping out.
I mean, yeah, nothing's happening. Nothing to invest in right now.
Their money is not coming back to them at this point. I mean, I'm surprised that the investor group isn't that. However many investor groups, I mean, they've had like fucking three different investor groups. I'm surprised that they haven't. The investor groups haven't went to PFL and were like, all right, let's get some events going on here. We need to make this money back.
Yeah, it is. It's very, just the whole thing is fucking strange, and just really sad for all the fighters. Really, that's the biggest thing. Is like
Terrible. It's fucking terrible for the
jeez.
fighters. Terrible.
Yeah, they're pretty much all locked in that Eddie Alvarez prison contract situation right now.
It's like
Every one
it's
of
like
them.
MMA purgatory.
Yeah, that is a excellent way to put it. So, all right. Well, that's a great 15-minute start. We really go off the rails there, but hey, you guys get what you sign up for. So, let's move on to the final event of the weekend. So, and quite a solid one, I would say.
Yep.
All things considered.
Yeah, for sure. So Jessica Andrade beat Caitlin Chikagian with a killer body punch. Like that body punch just fucking stunned Caitlin. She was like fucking like done after that. After that,
Look
body.
at that picture, though.
Yeah.
I was proud of finding that one.
She got hit with the left, and Andrade is coming in with the haymaker. Like, dude, she's a beast of a woman. That's a little fucking crazy woman right there. That's a Tasmanian devil.
I mean, we knew that. We knew that before,
I love
but
watching her fight. Man, I love watching her fight. So fun.
so is Andrade? Is she the most exciting female fighter of all time? She's up there. What would you say though? Where would you rank her? This is a question for the fans too. What would you guys rank
I
Andrade
mean, Chris
in terms of-
Cyborg is pretty goddamn exciting.
Very true.
Yeah. Chris Cyborg is pretty fucking exciting.
Just think about all the ways Andrade has won, though. I mean, she can win by submission. She can knock you out. She can knock you out with body shots. She can slam you. Like, she does it all, man.
She does literally everything. Yeah, it's pretty wild. And she's like 4'11". She's fighting. She's fighting fucking almost 6 foot tall women.
I love how she's mentioning that if the UFC wants her to fight a featherweight, she'll do it. Can you imagine? That's probably zero weight cut for her.
Andrade versus Nunes.
Jesus. And the crazy thing is, I didn't even have to say featherweight for that part. They could have fought at a point when they both got in the UFC. They they were around the same, level playing field.
Yeah.
That could have happened.
Yeah.
And my God,
This man, muscular, just beast of a woman. She's so small though. Like it's.
you want to talk
like,
about thick thighs, man?
true.
Goddamn.
Yeah, it's true. Crazy, fucking crazy.
Yeah, very talented.
Okay, Yusuf asks his first question of the day. Do you think Andrade's aggressive style will cause her to get KO'd against Val with counters? I don't necessarily think that she'll get knocked out because she's pretty fucking smart. But I think she'll get in trouble with Valentina for sure. I mean, everybody does. So it's not something that Andrade might do wrong. It's what Valentina does right in every fight.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. The thing about this question, though, and Andrade's aggressive style, I think that, particularly since the Whaley fight where she was in her full force of aggressiveness, which cost her mightily in her 2 fights since then, the Rose rematch and then this one, she wasn't as typically aggressive as we see her consistently throughout the fight. Like in this fight, yeah, obviously she had moments of that typical Andrade aggressiveness, the Lineker haymakers, if people make that comparison, female Lineker. But she was pretty patient at some time, not backing up necessarily, but not pushing forward heavily. You know what I mean? Like she wasn't blitzing the whole time against Caitlyn because that would have most likely favored Caitlyn in the long term, even though, well, I mean, you look at how the finish happened. Look at the finish. Andrade just had her back against the cage. This was, a moment where Chukagian was the one putting it in her face, and then she kind of countered it back. So, I mean, Andrade wasn't her stereotypical, bull in a china shop style that we usually see here. And I mean, even you look back to before the Whaley fight when she won the title against Rose, that was really when she started to change things up and go for a more tactical approach than just get in your face. And, obviously that didn't pay off in the first round against Rose in the first fight, but then, she made it work in the second round, made the adjustments, all that, got that amazing slam. So in terms of a Valentina fight, I think that she's fought enough fighters and had enough experiences similar to something that we could imagine like that to where she will not fight Valentina that way. Of course, she will blitz in certain times, probably eat some counters for sure, but I don't think she's going to be chasing her down like against Joanna. What's that?
That's just her style of fight, is to go in. I mean, she wants to overpower people.
Yeah, because she can.
That's what she does. Okay, so Yusuf asked a follow-up question that I really like. Will Andrade throw around Shevchenko at one point in the fight? I think that she will, actually.
That's the most exciting question that I've ever been presented.
I know, like I really want to see that happen. I would rather see Andrade pick up Shevchenko and dip her on the head than I would Rose Namajunas.
I just want to see that clinch exchange when Andrade goes for it, because we know Valentina is very strong as well, but I don't know. Andrade might be the strongest in maybe all three weight classes below featherweight. She is so ridiculously strong. That's the funnest fight within a fight that I think I can think of right now. I mean, Andrade, if she can slam Shevchenko, it's hard to think it's not possible, but it's only one way to find out. I mean, that's a great question that I want to see answered.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I mean, we've seen her slam, lift just about damn near everyone she's fought at this point. So it's like, yeah.
I mean, fuck it. At this point, give her the title shot. I don't give a fuck anymore.
So that can bring us to pretty much the wrap-up question, essentially, of this is like, and I mean, we'll get to we will get to more of I guess a secondary follow-up when we get to the previews, but Andrade skips the line, right? She's next.
Oh, she has to be next. She has to be.
No,
I mean, the UFC is setting her up to be next. They gave her at one point Jessica Ai, who was number one.
Not at the time. That was after. Or who are you talking about, Andrade?
Yes.
Okay, go on.
When she was going to fight Jessica Ai.
Yeah.
Jessica Ai was still booked number one. She was still ranked number one when they were supposedly booking that fight or whatever. No,
that was after Calvillo. That was after Calvillo versus Ai. So they were trying to murder Jessica Ai.
Right. They were trying to murder, and they're actually trying again. But
we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So Calvillo, they were talking about putting her up against Calvillo, right?
Maybe. I mean, maybe a little bit. I don't remember. Nothing too hot about that, but anyway.
And then they ended up giving her Shevchenko. Or I mean, Chukagian.
Yeah.
Who is a what number? Is she number one or number two?
Caitlyn was one at the time of this fight.
Yeah.
Now she's two, I think, because obviously Andrade jumps to one.
Yeah, Andrade went to number one, and Caitlyn.
And you can't really argue with that, right? I mean, she finished her first round That's logical. That's a logical ranking. I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, there's no hate for that ranking for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, to answer the question of is she next against Valentina or Jennifer Maia, whoever wins that fight,
Yeah.
yeah, I would say yes. That is who is next.
So this will tie in obviously to the preview, you guys, but Lauren Murphy's the other option. The only other option because now the Calvillo is out and not fighting Lauren Murphy. If man, it hurts Lauren Murphy so
Yeah,
impossibly much the fact that Andrade wins. Andrade wins in this fashion,
and
especially.
then
On
and
top of
then
that,
yeah,
loses Calvillo, who if you beat
sucks.
her, that makes that 4-fight winning streak all that much better. Now if she
Terrible.
beats Shakarova, I mean that's still a good winning streak, but it's like
But
not it's
nobody
not
even
the
knows who she
same.
is, though.
Exactly. And I think that for her to even have a sliver of a chance, which I don't think it's even going to matter, she's going to have to absolutely dominate just in Hamzat fashion. Let's put it that way. She's going to have to do she's going to have to do a Chimaev to Shakarova to even still make her case to be on that trajectory to get the title shot that she was in line for if she beat Calvillo. That would totally make things a lot different and closer if Calvillo was still involved in this. So
Yeah.
COVID really fucked over Murphy a little bit in that sense. And I mean, I think the best case scenario for Murphy in this case is obviously win, beat Shakarova in an impressive fashion like you're expected to. And then if Jennifer Maia wins, I wouldn't be surprised if they do the instant rematch. So then that gives Murphy a chance to. I mean, she's still gonna have to wait and probably fight Andrade, but then it's like she's not getting skipped over completely because they're doing an instant rematch. So, right, would that be the best thing for Murphy now in this case? Because I can't imagine that they're not gonna give it to Andrade. That just everyone wants to see that instead, no matter what happens. I mean,
I
I
mean,
guess
yeah.
we'll see. Unless she breaks like Jorge's Masvidal's speed record in the knockout, who knows?
No, I just don't see them passing up Andrade. They're setting Andrade up for another title fight. She's kind of the Holly Holm of the lighter divisions.
I wouldn't say that yet. Would not go there yet. She,
I
see, at
mean,
least she's only gotten one. I don't think that's fair to say. I think Joanna's definitely the Holly. Come on, we know that. Joanna is absolutely the
if
Holly.
Joanna was the Holly Holm of the lighter division, then she would get a rematch against Whaley.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. Even though, did you see, just to touch on Joanna news, she said she doesn't really want to fight without fans. So we might
Yeah,
not see her for a while.
yeah, we might not see her fucking until 2022.
Well, well, then Dana also said that they will probably have fans in Fight Island when they come back next, which will be next year. So,
Yeah, we'll see
fuck,
about that.
yeah.
We'll see about that, Dana.
I know Abu Dhabi's been very
They're
efficient and
strict.
strict with
They're
their
strict.
protocol, which, good for them and everything.
They are strict.
Perfect timing, Stamina.
I just step in and Steve is talking crazy already. Andrade's the home of the lighter division slapping.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you, Stamina, for coming and joining us today.
Always a pleasure to have Stamina up in here. So, yeah, that was phenomenal stuff from Jessica Andrade.
Yeah.
We'll ask this question to you, Stamina, and we will move on. Before I asked everybody before, where does Andrade rank in terms of the most exciting female fighters of all time? I think she's right up there. I'd have to really think about it to say number one, but man, you think about all the crazy finishes that she has and just her
Yeah.
fights. She's up there, man. So would love to
That
hear your thoughts on that.
that slam of Rose Namajunas just put her up, elevated her how good she was.
She still doesn't get enough credit for that slam, dude. Like I saw after obviously the Buckley knockout. What was that
Yeah.
last 2 weeks ago now?
I think
Whenever
so.
that was,
Yeah.
and people were talking about greatest knockouts of all time, and I was seeing lists. And shout out to Nick Baldwin, who made a great list on that. And I even fell victim to not noticing, but he didn't mention Andrade's slam. Nobody was talking about that one. I was like, dude, I would make an argument that that was better than like the Masvidal knee, just because I like things that are unique. Like we've seen flying knees before. Obviously, that was probably the best one, the most aesthetically pleasing one to see visually. But man, that slam was a fucking once in a lifetime kind of violent slam. We were very afraid for Rose's life, even like maybe not her life, but that she was gonna be paralyzed. I mean, it just had all the makings of a really gnarly fight moment and an incredible knockout. And the fact that she was down too, that was a comeback for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, phenomenal. Not she doesn't get enough love for that one, and
That
it's
shit,
crazy.
that shit shook Rose.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to fight again if that happened to me.
I mean, she literally was talking about retiring after that.
Yeah, I cannot blame. Cannot blame.
I mean, obviously she came back, but it took a long time. It took a long time for her to come back to shake that off.
Check it off. Check it off.
Well, dude, she got slammed on her fucking head.
Violence personified. That
Love it.
Batistaca.
Yeah.
But, yep.
She's
So
violent
that
as
was,
fuck.
Violent AF. That was the final of our two flyweight fights on Fight Island 6, though we had another good one before this.
Yeah. So Jillian Pollyanna Batillo by unanimous decision. It was a good fight. It was a good back and forth fight. Jillian didn't get her submission, unfortunately, but she ended up winning the fight.
Yeah, this was the first decision of Jillian's career, win or loss. Well, UFC career. She's went to decisions before the UFC,
Yeah.
but in the UFC, yeah, win or lose, this was her first decision. So,
Yeah.
a little bit of some craziness there because she's had what, six, 7 fights now in the UFC. So I mean, impressive. I mean, even though you don't lose by finish, but it just shows you she's kind of a kill or be killed fighter typically. And as for this fight, I mean, Botello, I thought she looked fine, very, very good in the first round.
Yeah.
Obviously, won that round on all 3 judges' scorecards. Can't really argue
Yeah.
with that. Jillian just wasn't too comfortable on the feet there early on, but adapted like at the last minute of that first round, got her down. Didn't really need to use her striking, obviously, and then just took over from there and totally dominated the last 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, Botello just couldn't keep her off after. I mean, she defended well early. Like I remember, Jillian was hanging onto that leg trying to get the single, but just was just holding her there. Yeah, so Botello gets set back though ultimately, and man,
And
needs to
Jillian
work
keeps
on
on
that.
fucking trucking.
Fucking trucking. Yeah, she does.
Yeah,
she does.
she's a fun one to watch, man. I like her.
Yeah, even though it wasn't a finish this time,
Right.
it was still a solid performance from her, and it's good to see her make those adaptations when she was kind of trying to strike a little bit in the beginning and just wasn't going very well for her, and then sticking to what she's best at. So yeah, it was definitely a very nice win, and then she called out Antonina after this, which is a very, very smart
Love
call
it.
out.
That's a
That is
good fight. But
great
unfortunately,
business move.
the rankings changed, and she went up from 15 to 12, and Antonina Shevchenko is now ranked number 15.
They swapped pretty much.
Yes.
That's interesting. But Antonina's got to get through the Violence Queen first and foremost. So
Yeah, I mean that's a fun fight. But I
I
mean,
think just whoever wins that fight, you could save dude Jillian versus. Even though I might say Lipsky against somebody. I mean, I guess if rankings wise, yeah, that would be fine. So you could just do the winner of that one. But Robertson matches up pretty well with Antonina. I think that's why Antonina has the name. UFC seems to fucking hot shot her into position she shouldn't be. I would be kind of surprised if they made Jillian versus Antonina win, or well, especially lose if Antonina loses. But if she wins, then it's just like Jillian can very well win that fight. Her grappling is definitely superior. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see what they do with Jillian next.
I don't know. I think they like Jillian Robertson.
Yeah,
I think I think the UFC's giving her good fights that give her opportunity to keep going up in the rankings, and which she is doing. I mean, obviously she was ranked number 15 and now number 12. So she's at the cusp of a top 10 ranking now.
Yeah, and I mean she's an exciting fighter, like we said. I mean, which the UFC's kind of up in the air sometimes with grappling heavy fighters, but Jillian goes out there and she finishes people more often than not, and she will beat you up in the process. She was getting close, kind of, I thought, to maybe getting a ground and pound, finish here in the second round?
I think it was the second, yeah.
Yeah, but just dominance there overall, and
love it. I love seeing Jillian Robertson do well.
Yeah, so
and
sure.
And her red hair.
And the red hair. But Stamina has an answer for us about Andrade.
Okay, so top 3 off the top of my head. I wouldn't want to hand out numbers without doing my homework. Jessica won't ever earn many skill points for me, but she's never been in a snoozer. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been bored with a Jessica Andrade fight, if ever. I mean, has there ever been one where we were like, this sucks?
The Joanna fight was frustrating, but it wasn't.
I mean, I don't think that sucked though. Yeah, it wasn't boring at all. But I mean, okay, it was frustrating. You're right, but it wasn't boring. And we weren't. He said snoozer. I definitely wasn't snoozing with Andrade and Jacek.
Yeah, because that Andrade is always in there. So. Yeah. No. Oh, very, very fair point. Very fair point, sir. So, all right. Now we have a tandem of fan questions here. So
yeah, from Twitter. So
it continues with the Andrade theme, actually.
Yeah. So we'll start off with our buddy Fighting With Myself podcast at FWM_pod. Who wins between Andrade and Cynthia Calvillo? Eyes.
What? Eyes? Oh. Right. I thought that was your answer. I was like,
Jessica I beats both of them.
Wait a minute.
Who do you think wins that fight?
I honestly think that Andrade is a pretty awful matchup for Cynthia.
I think Andrade is an awful matchup for anybody.
Yeah, for a lot of people.
She's fucking wicked, man.
Yeah, very good point. Yeah, I would have as much as Cynthia is kind of I think she's still a little bit underappreciated, but I want to see more from her against flyweights that aren't Jessica I, of course.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really seen a lot from her. I mean, she beat Jessica I, okay? I mean, Jessica is not that good. She should have never been in that Valentina Shevchenko fight to begin with.
Yeah, so it's real hard to pick against Andrade in that hypothetical matchup. And I mean, I wish that we saw her go against somebody like Tatiana, but we saw Calvillo versus Carla, and I mean, Cynthia obviously known for her grappling and wrestling and all that, and going against someone else who is a strong grappler like Carla. I mean, that was a pretty close fight, but I think Carla definitely edged out there, and Cynthia seemed to be more against the decision than maybe everyone else was. But yeah, it's just I think that there's that handful of fighters that are very strong. Andrade is strong everywhere, but just also in grappling that when she cannot bully people, she's gonna have a little bit of trouble because she's not a power striker or anything like that. I mean,
Yeah.
Calvillo's got solid hands and, her striking's, capable and all that, but her strong suit is obviously on the ground. So when somebody is going to be able to stifle her in that area, no bueno. And, we haven't seen that happen too much against her. So it's a little bit hypothetical. But I mean, when we've seen what we've seen, I think we have seen enough to draw these conclusions. So yeah.
So Sam said Calvillo would try to stand with Andrade and end up taking a dirt nap. She really fancies herself as a striker. Bless her. She's not very.
She kind of used to a little bit, and I spoke to Cynthia before that Jessica I fight, and she talked about how like going into the Carla fight especially, which that was her first loss and everything, she was falling. You know what happens to the grapplers when they get good with their striking a bit, they kind of fall in love with it. She admitted to falling into that same kind of thing, and then afterward wanted to get back to her grappling, and she really did afterwards. And she did strike a decent bit against Jessica I, but really was superior in the grappling, and that's. I mean, she could have won the fight without grappling. I think that's safe to say. But the fact that she incorporated in like she wanted to get back to her roots and everything just really helped seal the deal with the 50-45 across the board. So, yeah, I would say that used to be the case. And I would hope that she's learned and would be smart enough not to engage in any brawls with Jessica Andrade. I think most people, honestly, are smart enough not to do that at this point. Except for Carolina, I guess. No offense to Carolina. Congrats on getting married, by the way, to Carolina Kovalkovich. So yeah,
she's better off getting married than fighting.
at this point, it's unfortunate, yeah. But so. And
Yusuf said, "Don't think anybody has the skill or power in the top 15 to beat Andrade." Is that top 15 power, pound for pound rankings? Because I agree.
Out of everybody,
even Amanda Nunes.
That is just a rude comment to make when Whaley exists.
I think that a second fight would be different.
Yeah, I agree, and I would actually be I would like to see that definitely. I mean, let's see, the top 15 at flyweight though.
At flyweight,
I think that Maya and Murphy are actually pretty interesting matchups for. This is aside from Valentina. Pretty interesting matchups for Andrade, and I mentioned Murphy just because Murphy is a pretty big flyweight. She used to be at bantamweight as well, and it kind of doesn't matter going against Andrade because Andrade has been at bantamweight as well. First female to win fights in 3 different divisions, by the way. That was history that she made.
Crazy.
And first female to be ranked in multiple divisions. She's in the pound for pound. I mean, or just to be ranked in 3 different things or whatever by the UFC. So flyweight, and she's still ranked as strawweight, which I think is kind of silly. But
she's getting the Jose Aldo treatment.
The Conor treatment.
Conor McGregor, yeah.
But the power, yeah, that's a tough one to match, definitely. As for the skill, to be seen. But taking out Chukagian like that definitely doesn't make that a crazy thing to say. So,
dude, that body shot fucking stunned her. She was like, she wanted to curl up and fucking die.
I wanted to from just watching it.
Dude, so, head kick audio. I don't know what your thing is against Andrade.
What is this? Is this
I know
inside joke?
No, he's just saying next. He actually wants his.
I see.
His answered.
All right, buddy. We'll get to it then. All right. Here we are.
Steve. All
right, there you go.
All right, so Head Kick Audio, who is here in the chat with us, asked, Sam Hughes got a sweet win. That was at LFA over the weekend on Friday. Should she get a rematch with Little Monster, which is Vanessa Demopoulos, or go straight to the big league? Well, Demopoulos has a fight already. She's booked for this month, like next week, I think. Let me look really quick. I'm pretty sure that it's fucking like that Friday before the 31st, which is the 30th. Vanessa Demopoulos, there she is. So they fought. Demopoulos and Hughes fought way back in July. Of course, Sam Hughes ended up losing to Demopoulos by that sick inverted triangle. And now Demopoulos is going to fight, on the 30th against Lupita Gudeñez. So, I don't think that she'll be fighting Demopoulos anytime soon. Unless if Demopoulos comes out with an easy victory. But can she go to the UFC? Yeah, she can go to the UFC. Sam Hughes can go to the UFC. I think she's ready.
I don't know. Off of one win since then, since the Demopoulos loss, I think depending on what happens with Demopoulos' next fight, maybe if it's not her, fight the winner, get one more win, I would say. I mean, obviously, Sam Hughes, a very good prospect in her own right, and trains out of a good camp, trains with Barb Honchak up here in Washington. The OG flyweight Barb. What's that?
You're in Oregon.
I am not in Oregon. I am very close to Oregon, though. So yeah,
you're in Idaho.
I'm actually in Idaho. My connection is in Idaho, pretty much. But,
your connection's fucking Maine.
Yeah, it's Portland, Maine. Jesus. So, I mean, with Sam Hughes, she's strawweight, right? Yeah, or she's flyweight. Yeah,
Hughes, she's a flyweight.
Okay, yeah, I thought so. I don't know why I had that confusion there, but so I mean that definitely helps. I think getting into flyweight. I feel like the UFC should probably just talking about strawweight. They should stop signing strawweights for a little bit because the division is just like too stacked. Like in one of those situations where it's like it's too many. It's too much goodness. So, even though I think that we do have a signing to talk about here actually coming up. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't hate it. It's whatever, but I feel like one more win would be. I mean, fighters like her, they're usually on hold for being replacements, though. So we could definitely see her come in sooner rather than later, depending on if somebody gets taken out by something. So yeah, it's probably just a matter of time, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if she gets one more fight in LFA, then I mean that's fair. But then if she fights in the UFC or even fucking Invicta, wherever.
Yeah. And Steve says straw, so we're all confused here.
Well, didn't her and Demopoulos fight at flyweight?
I thought so. Do I even have this up? No, I don't. Oh well. We'll figure that out. Stamina left us a comment here about the Murphy and Andrade possibility. Saying he would love to see Murphy versus Andrade because she doesn't suck in any facet of fighting, but she's durable as all hell. She, of all people, could best weather the inevitable storm. Very true. I don't think that Lauren Murphy has been finished. Not that I can remember anyway, and she's fought
fucking tough.
A shitload of people. So, yeah, that's a great point.
She's such a tough fight for anybody.
Yeah. Definition.
So they fought at a catch weight. Sam Hughes and Danielle Henley fought at 120. So she's a featherweight. I mean, a flyweight. I'm
All over the place.
putting her at 145 now. She's
They could use her.
She is flyweight. That's her weight class is flyweight. They fought at a catch weight at 120.
All right. Well, either way.
Matter. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't even matter.
We got news to talk about, everybody. Here, this is straw weights for you.
All right, so a real strawweight fight. Pollyanna Viana is taking on Mallory Martin, supposedly February 13th, a day before Valentine's Day. This won't be a lovely fight for one of these girls, I guess. But it's fun though, right?
Yeah. Martin versus
It's so far away.
Yeah, I know. Booking it in February, that is a bit of a distance. Bit of a distance. But yeah, Martin's still in that prospect range. I mean, she got fucking walloped by Hannah Cifers before mounting a beautiful comeback in the round that followed. And then Viana, I'm blanking on what her last fight was, though, but it was pretty recent, right? I mean, what was the Viana fight? Let me do a quick search here, unless you can give it to me. Pollyanna Viana, I'm so blanked on it. Here we are. Whitmire, that's right. She submitted Whitmire with that quick armbar, that beautiful armbar. So yeah, this is totally great matchmaking, I would say. Yeah, I'm all for this. Very interesting fight. Yeah, this is great matchmaking. I love it. I think this is a perfect strawweight prospect bout. It's just a ways away. That's all. That's all. So, booking it out. But
Yeah, it's too far.
I will take
Something's going to happen.
Hey, knock on wood now.
I don't like these fights being booked out fucking 3-4 months in advance unless if they're like a title fight. Because then, we get hyped for matchups like this and then they fall through because of God knows how many reasons there are that fights fall through, I mean, we've seen it so many times with Nico Montano. I mean, we'll be talking about her in a little bit. She has fights booked up, and then it just doesn't come to fruition.
Yep.
Happens all the time.
You hate to see it.
Especially in the UFC. It's weird. I don't know if it's because the UFC is like more in the limelight and we pay more attention to the UFC matchmaking, but we notice. Personally, I notice more UFC fights getting being pulled off than any other organization.
Yeah, and I think that this is something that has been talked about for a while now, but you think about it, and I don't think anybody lets us know about the matchups, or the matchups don't get out there as early as UFC fights do. Because you think about what Blanco and Cyborg was announced like 2 weeks before, 2 or 3 weeks before. Obviously, they knew about it earlier than that, but like Bellator, Ryzen, there's usually not a whole lot of time. I mean, sometimes, at least for big ones. I mean, Ryzen just announced, Ryzen 2025 this couple days ago, and that'll be November 21st. So that's a full month from now, as of today. So I mean, a full month, right? This is multiple months. February 13th. So yeah, it's just I think it has to do with the promotion side of, well, maybe not as more of people digging to break these fights kind of thing.
I think that's what it is. I think it's, people get excited about breaking fights and stuff like that. That's like their niche and stuff. Whatever. Props to all these people who break fights. That cool. I mean, it gives us something to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. Gets on our news docket.
Yeah, it couldn't be me though. Like I just don't got the time for that shit.
So no updates then?
Well, dude, no.
You know what
No.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, no. No update. I mean, it's sort of an update, but I can't really say anything.
Anyway, on to the next strawweight fight, which this one is not as far away, thankfully.
Tisha Torres and Angela Hill, the second time they're gonna fight, are booked for UFC 256. That's the same card as Amanda Nunes and Megan Anderson, and then Peter Yan and Aljamain Sterling. So it's a good card to be on. It's the last, assuming it's the last pay-per-view of 2020 of this hellish year.
Yeah. You know, this card's awesome. If you look at the lineup for it right now, I don't have the lineup up right this second, but yeah, no, they always stack the year-end pay-per-views. I mean,
Yeah.
you noticed that. So I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
they're always fun.
we got Nunes Anderson, Vittori versus Jacare. That's exciting. Li Jingliang's back versus Dwight Grant. That's a very interesting one. That's the Dern Jandiroba event as well. And then you add this one onto it. And this was supposed to be Hebus versus Esparza as well. So maybe.
And Usman Burns.
Yeah, that was also supposed to be there.
But then
maybe.
we weren't going to get, we wouldn't have gotten Peter Yan and Aljamain Sterling.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, we could potentially still have Rebus on there. We will see. And that's, man, those are three ridiculous strawweight fights.
Fun.
Yeah. This one, though, this rematch, oh my goodness, it is going to be so much better than the first fight. I mean, this is, wow. You want to talk about...
Angela Hill has really gotten better since that first fight.
Oh, yeah. She's improved much more.
So much better.
Yeah, she's improved more than Tisha. I don't think there's any doubt about it. But, obviously, Tisha showed that she ain't quite done yet either in that last fight of hers with, you know, arguably one of her best performances as well. I mean, shit. And I think that the first fight between Hill and Torres, that might have been the Mexico one where Tisha out-grappled her.
I think so.
Wrestled her. Which was kind of... here, let's do a quick search on this too. Torres versus Hill 1. Yep, UFC 188, Mexico City. My memory served me correct. Yeah, that was an all right fight, but you know, Tisha just wrestled her for the win essentially. Angie's takedown defense gotten significantly better since then. You know,
she's gotten better all around.
Yeah, exactly. And Tisha showing a new level of aggressiveness in that last fight with BVB. Yeah, I'm very excited for this. I think it's going to be fucking fast and ferocious battle while it lasts. Yeah, no problems with that whatsoever. No problems with it. So
yeah, I like this fight a lot actually. And then looking at the rankings, they fucking put Angela Hill down to number 13 from 12 and had Mackenzie Dern go up one. They swapped 12 and 13. Fuck's the point?
Did you see that Connor jumped Dan Hooker?
That's fucking wild, dude. These rankings are shit. Obviously.
Good fun. Some good fun right there.
I mean, you look at these rankings, and there's all kinds of fucking green and red arrows everywhere throughout the whole rankings, throughout every division.
A lot this time.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Yair Rodriguez went to number 4, and Korean Zombie went to number 5.
Okay.
Dan Ige dropped down for some reason 2 spots. Like, what's the point of dropping Ige?
I just love those random ones where nobody fought, and they're like, Yeah, they kind of should go down a little bit. Like, why? Doesn't make any fucking sense. Doesn't make any sense.
Rafael dos Anjos went down from number 9 to number 12.
At welterweight?
Yes.
Well, he's leaving the division, but still, until he leaves, why not just leave him there, right? I don't know.
But, okay, so the pound for pound rankings.
Oh, God.
The women's pound for pound rankings. All fucked up. Jessica Andrade went from number 6 to number 5, jumped Joanna, which is fine, I guess. Jermaine Durandamy jumped number 8 to 7. Holly Holm is now number 8, which is fine, I guess, right? But Nina Ansaroff went from 13 to 12. Why?
She went up.
In pound for pound rankings, Nina Ansaroff went up to 12. I mean,
that is so funny. It's because she just had the baby, so that counts as a win, which it should.
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess so.
Madness, I tell you. Madness. Oh, fuck. I accidentally... Did I... All right. All right, to the next order of business.
My girl, Nico Montano, is back. She'll be taking on Excuse me? She'll be taking on Carol Rosa at bantamweight in February on the 6th of February. Another one very far out. I just talked about Nico Montano. Look, I got love for the girl. She's my we got native pride going on. But she's had some bad luck.
Yeah. No kidding. That's an understatement.
Really want to see her back in the damn octagon. At this point, I just really want to see her back in the octagon. There's not much more that I can say about it.
It sucks too, because like I was watching kind of a little bit of, I didn't rewatch the full fight, but a little bit of her fight with Juliana Pena in her last fight, which feels like forever ago now. But dude, it's easy to forget that, you know, she was very competitive in that fight and doing just fine. And I think was on her way to winning until just got into a bad position, like off of just a minor mistake. And then Pena laid on her for the rest of the round and stole the fight. Like, damn, man. Like, even that's unlucky. It's like, even in the fight.
Pena shouldn't have won that fight.
Yeah, coming off the layoff and everything. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, Nico didn't look bad, though, is the point I'm making. Like, people, it's so easy for them to shit on her, but.
Yeah, she's kind of fallen into that Jermaine Durandamy where people like to shit on. I mean, people shit on women's MMA in general. Like, there's haters out there, you know. I don't like using that word haters, but that's what they fucking are.
Yeah.
They're just, you know, they throw insults out for no fucking reason. I mean, a lot of these dudes who talk shit have probably never been in a real fight themselves. And I bet any of these girls who are fighting could whip their ass.
Just because you mentioned that, did you see the absolute ridiculous story that Deanna Bennett shared this week?
No. Oh, I saw that she sent, or that she shared something on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on Instagram. I saw it. I forgot to click on it though and read it.
Psycho. Yeah.
What happened? If you want to get into it, I mean, I don't know the story, so.
Yeah, I won't fully break it down. You can check it out. But this guy, this super troll, was telling her that she should go home and die, like, because of her missing weight and losing. She sucks and all this. And then he like made an account specifically saying like, it with like her picture, a picture of her getting choked out by Liz Carmouche, and like the name was something you missed weight fatty. Like just it's like man, that the people who have just issues, dude. Like I cannot. I like what? Why? Why did she say something you didn't like in high school or like one of those weird things? Like it's pretty ridiculous stuff. Look it up. Shout out to Steven Morocco who had that story on MMA fighting. My fellow Pacific Northwest brother. Um, yeah, just insanity. Like
That's
how it
crazy.
shows you how just the toxicity of some fucking how the MMA community can be, and I feel so bad that like these fighters have to put up with some of that shit because
A lot of women.
just
A lot of
ridiculous.
women. The women are worse,
Mostly more than the men, easily. I think
way worse off than men.
hands
Way
down.
worse off. I mean, a lot. There's. Don't get me wrong. There's men who post on on social media or whatever that get people saying stupid shit. But
Oh, yeah.
like the toxicity of the message is so far worse when it comes to female fighters than it is men.
Yeah, I don't think there's
Terrible.
any
It's fucking
doubt
terrible.
about that.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
Yep. Is what it is, unfortunately. I mean, be better, people. I mean, no, I know none of those assholes are watching our show, but
I
but
would hope not,
I was gonna
because
say
Dweeb
that.
don't want them watching that show.
Yeah.
Okay, so if Nico can't make good on this one, something of a softball, it's bad news for her. Even GDR got over her hump, but the fandom to a degree, Montano hasn't been so fortunate. Yeah, I mean,
I think it's been an activity thing is the
yeah,
reason for that.
well, that and people just fucking continue to really grab at that she never fought Valentina Shevchenko.
Yeah.
I mean, that's much
Which
like
is exactly similar to GDR and
Brandon
Cyborg, right?
never
Yeah.
fought Cyborg. GDR has gotten over that hump, like what Stamina was saying. GDR got over that hump. Nico has yet to get over that hump. We might not see it. I mean, Carol Rose is a tough girl, though.
Yeah, she is, but I definitely I like Nico in this matchup.
I mean, so do
Um,
I like Nico, and I like Nico in the matchup against Juliana Pena. She should have won
yeah,
that fight.
yeah. I mean, that's the thing, man, is like people who have paid attention. You and I have been saying this since we started the show, since The Ultimate Fighter. People who have been paying attention to Nico Montano can see, we know how good she actually is. Like people talk their shit, but they haven't actually been watching and seen that she's actually quite a good fighter. Like she is
She's down. She's
quite
down to
good.
fucking throw.
Yeah,
She's
man. I mean,
not these one of these boring ass fighters.
her
She's like
fight
she's
with Roxy
boring.
was a phenomenal fight. People don't remember that fight. I mean, they might not have even watched it, but that was a fight of the night. I put that on my top 20 for the greatest female fighters of all time. Shameless plug. Female fights of all time, not female fighters. But that
Yeah,
fight, very forgotten, underappreciated. They were going at it, man. That was that was a great flyweight title fight. People completely forget about that one. Go
crazy.
check it out. If you haven't seen it, give it a rewatch even. I mean, Nico's not a born fighter. I mean,
I think I've watched it like 5 times, 6 times. That fight. I mean, that's just because I'm a big Nico Montano fan.
great one though. And Yusuf, this is actually not true. The lineal champion would technically be Pena now, or no, it would be GDR's the lineal flyweight champion. How about that? That's a tweet. Somebody
She's
tweet that
the
before I
first.
do.
Okay, so Nico is the first flyweight champion, not
Yes,
the lineal, because she's been beaten.
that's a. I'm gonna tweet that right now. That is worth a tweet. We just made a breakthrough. Not really, but nobody points it out.
Nobody's gonna care either, because it has something to do with Nico Montano. Unfortunately, nobody will care about it. She has to like murder a girl in the cage for them to be like she's a good. Oh, she's actually a decent fighter.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, it seems like it, right? Seems like that's what it'll take.
Yeah.
There's no GDR gifts popping up here. I need a gift to go along with this.
No germane to random gifts.
Yeah, I'll have to make one myself. All right, I will save that for later. If somebody beats me to it, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. All right, so back to more Jessica I talk.
So John Calderwood and Jessica are going to fight sometime in January, the end of January 23rd. Another one that's far out booked. Yeah, John Calderwood's going to fucking kill this girl.
I mean, she needs to, man. JoJo has lost a lot of steam, obviously with that last.
Yeah. I mean, that was a bad loss.
Yeah, and then I mean, so has Jessica I. Not that she gained a whole bunch or anything, but you know how it goes. I mean, I think though that this is fine, a fine fight matchmaking wise. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what their rankings are, but I know that Jessica I is higher ranked than she should be. Let's put it that way.
She always has been. Jessica I actually is number 6 now, and Calderwood is 7.
Oh, really? Okay. Well.
Yeah, really. So as far as rankings, I mean, it makes sense, right? They're both coming off losses. It's fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine, and yeah, it's got potential to be a pretty entertaining fight. I think that on the feet, obviously JoJo is more
She's so much
more
better.
dangerous. Got better technique, more powerful. She's just better, but Jessica I will hang in there and take the punishment that she needs to take. But at the same time, JoJo has shown her improved ground game, as we've seen, of course, before the Jennifer Maia loss. And I mean, losing to Jennifer Maia the way that she did is nothing to hang your hat on, as they say. But,
it's not really a surprise to us either. I'm fairly sure that we both took Jennifer Maia in that fight.
Yeah. So, yeah, it would. JoJo just has way more ways to win this.
Yeah, she's a much better, well-rounded fighter than Jessica I is. I mean, Jessica I is not that good. She's gonna continue to fall down the rankings at this point. She had her chance. She was up there, and I mean, she got head kicked to hell. So now she'll continue falling down the rankings. I root for JoJo, but we either need a whole new version or a vintage one. Otherwise, I best her just by durability. Last one standing kind of vibes. I hate to see it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's last man standing vibes, but I think it could be for Jessica I.
I mean, that would be 3 in a row for her, right?
Yeah. They would not get rid of Calderwood. There's no way that they would get rid of Calderwood. But Jessica I, yeah.
They hung on to her for a lot longer than they should have. She had that 4-fight losing streak.
Yeah.
The 1 in 5 out of her 6.
Crazy.
I mean, that start to her career was just not good. I mean, she came in with her UFC debut and beat Sarah Kaufman, but honestly, I do not think she should have won that fight. That UFC 166, 7 years ago now. But then that got overturned because of marijuana, which is stupid. But as I said, I don't think she should have won that anyway. Then, loses to Alexis Davis, then beats Leslie Smith by ear explosion. Not even a normal win, something you typically see. And then drops to 4 in a row, as I said. And yeah, she should have been probably cut after the Pena loss, honestly.
Yeah.
which was the second in that streak. I don't know. It seems like they will keep Jessica Eye around for as long as they want to, but
Here we
yep.
go, evil. Here we go.
Oh man, the cringe.
Yusuf asked, "Who does Caitlin Chikajian fight next?" Well, didn't she talk about not fighting again and starting a family?
She did talk about that before the Antonina fight, I think. But then it sounded like she kind of retracted that.
She reiterated, I think.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know. It seems kind of up in the air with all that. But then
she has said that she wants to start a family. She wants a baby.
Yeah.
And how old is she? She's like 32 or something like that, right?
Yeah, early 30s, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I mean, especially after a loss like that, I'm sure that she's probably thinking about it again. I don't know, though. In terms of what might make sense, you could do
Calvillo?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Since depending on, well, here's the thing, right? Let's say that Murphy wins and Andrade gets the title shot. Then why not rebook Calvillo versus Murphy, right? So
Yeah.
in that case,
In that case, Chikajian is fucked.
Chukagian versus KGB.
Dude,
Huh?
she's so far down though in the rankings, isn't she?
Fuck it.
Yeah, she's ranked number 10.
I think that's my pick. I think that's a good one. I like it. I like it.
Chikajian's ranked number 2. KGB's ranked number 10. What about Macy Barber? When is she coming back?
Don't know when that is.
She's a fun one. I like her.
I think that's a tough reintroduction for her, and I don't think they should do that. But yeah. Huh. Well said.
Andrade may have spoiled her baby hopes with them body shots. It's not very nice.
We're gonna have to ban you, Steve. Just inappropriate comments like that.
Steve.
Too soon, man.
Yeah, that's terrible. Terrible. We don't like those kind of comments.
This is a family. It's a fucking family-friendly environment.
We don't like those. We don't like those kind of comments. We don't condone that shit here.
Bet slander or nothing. Or get out.
Cockroach. You dirty cockroach.
All right, moving on to, in my opinion, the biggest news of the week. Yeah.
So Ham is moving to one championship. Craziness.
Madness ensued.
I did not see that coming at all. Did you?
No, I did not.
Yeah. I was fucking baffled by this when I read it. I was like, whoa, that's wild. That's some wild shit right there. I thought I was still high when I was reading it, and then I reread it when I was not high anymore, and I was like, damn, am I high still?
Yeah, man. So it started off with they just announced that she was vacating at first because negotiations couldn't come to an agreement for whatever, so that made a lot of people wondering and whatnot. And I quickly found out what the reason was, but couldn't quite say. But yeah, going to one championship because of she was still the Road FC champion, right? South Korea's Road FC.
Crazy, dude. She's all Asia champion.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, people don't realize Ham is a 5-time world champion across every organization.
Literally everywhere in Asia. It's fucking wild, man.
So yeah, she was still under contract with Road FC, and Road FC has yet to come back since the pandemic.
Yeah.
They ended
Now
up.
look at them letting her fight elsewhere.
Yeah.
PFL should take notes.
Yeah, exactly.
Stupid bastards.
So yeah, something to do with you know, her and Road, them breaking their contract, and you know that was getting canceled, affecting Ryzen, and then her becoming a free agent essentially. And then one goes and offers her a shitload of money, apparently.
Love
Um,
it.
so it's yeah, it's a good deal for him in that regard. At least you hope so. And I mean, especially after the issue she had with her management embezzling her money, if you remember that, after Ryzen 20 when she became champion. A real filthy situation there. So just kind of madness, but really sucks for the Ryzen atomweight division. And now we're not going to get to see that potential Rena fight, and now Rena has said there's no point in going back down to atomweight. So no more Rena in that weight class. And so I'm assuming that we will probably get Ayaka versus Kana 2, which makes sense. It does make sense at this stage for the vacant title.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. So that's on that end. But
such
then, yeah, I know it'll be I think better. A rematch will be. Because Kana just wasn't quite ready for Ayaka in that one.
She's
And then, yeah, she's gotten very good. I mean, she was already good, which is crazy, and she's still fucking only like 22, I think. 22, 23, something like that. But Sohee Ham on the one roster though, and they're planning to do a tournament in Angela Lee's absence.
yeah,
Man, Ham versus Angela Lee potentially in the future. I mean, I expect Ham to win the tournament. Honestly, why wouldn't you expect that? She's the best atomweight in the world. I mean, obviously. So yeah, that's going to be very exciting to see how that unfolds. Hopefully she gets to be fighting soon. And yeah, I mean, obviously everyone wants to see that inevitable clash with Angela Lee, which that's an interesting one. Obviously Lee has the size, but I don't know. That's fun written all over it. Angela Lee fights are never bad, really, and neither are Sohee Ham fights. So
yeah, that's a banger. But I mean, I don't think that we'll see it anytime soon.
No, not till late. I would say, I don't know how quickly they plan on doing that tournament and getting it all done, but
Yeah.
it might not be till like 2022 starting up.
long.
Late 2021 at earliest, I would say.
Yeah, that's what I think is probably late 2021. I don't see them waiting for 2022 though.
I mean, if they don't have to, but you know,
It's a long way away.
Lee's got to have the baby and then get ready, get back in fight shape, all that stuff. So yeah, crazy news. For the atomweight division, big news for the atomweight division, shaking it up.
Sucks for Ryzen though.
Yeah,
Tough. That's a tough break for Ryzen.
I know, especially right after she wins in one of like the greatest fights fucking ever. Like, oh, that trilogy fight was so good. If you guys haven't seen that, check it out. Yeah, man, and even the Hamasaki quadrilogy fight, I would wanted to see that, dude. Like,
Rena.
and the Rena one.
We talked about that last week or 2 weeks ago.
After Rena won.
After Rena won. Now we can't. Now we're not going to see that fight.
I just wish that one would. I just wish that they would do cross promotion. So hard to play nice with everybody. I mean, they already did a trade with UFC. Come on.
Yeah.
A trade.
Yeah. They got fucking Demetrius Johnson, the pound for pound best at the time.
Crazy. In hindsight, it's so crazy.
And the UFC got fucking Mr. Curly Hair himself. Curly headed fuck.
Curly-headed fuck, and he made T-shirts out of that. And why not? Why not? So, all right, on to the next order of business as we're getting close to the end here of the news cycle. Everybody, we got a signing.
So
Another signing.
Casey O'Neill from Scotland, isn't she from
Yes.
Australia?
Scotland.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Why? Why do you think that?
I thought she was from Australia for some reason.
Maybe she lives there, but she's Scottish.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, maybe
Oh no,
that's what
yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah, she
Yeah.
lives in Queensland. Okay. Yeah, born in Scotland. All right,
Okay.
nice. You know what you're talking about.
23 years old, a 5-0 flyweight. Great signing by the UFC. I mean, I think this is a killer signing. She's a beast.
Yeah, I mean, if you include her amateur record, she's on a 10-fight winning streak.
Dude, she was a fucking great amateur fighter.
Yeah, and a young prospect, 23 still. So I mean,
Super young.
plenty of room for improvement. Training out of Tiger Muay Thai though, George Hickman,
Yeah.
great training team to have there. Yeah, and into the flyweight division, I'm assuming is where she will be competing because her last last two fights have been at strawweight. No, her first three were at strawweight. Now she's been at flyweight for the last two, and looking just fine there. Obviously, with good wins over Christina Steliao and Caitlin McEwen. Yeah, I mean, welcome. I'm down for pretty much all additions to flyweight as things are heating up, as we've been saying for the last couple weeks across the globe in the flyweight division. So, yeah, I mean, I would say that 5-0 seems a little bit too soon, but considering her amateur fights as well,
Yeah.
it's all good. I'll take
I
it.
mean, we've seen 5-0 fighters in the UFC before. I mean, Greg Hardy was like 3-0 or some shit.
Yeah, I think he was 2-0 actually. But that's
Something
that's
pretty
what
wild.
it is. That is what it is what that is. So, yeah, welcome to the UFC, Casey O'Neill.
Yeah.
Welcome to it.
So, Head Kick Audio asked y'all talk about XFC reboot with Jag and Taylor in the co-main. Yes, we did. We actually did talk about that last week. Yeah, talked about it last week. It's a good fight. It's fun. It's a fun fight. I was completely shocked by Danielle Taylor though going to XFC. I mean, we both were.
Yeah, did not see that coming.
Yeah, not at all.
And just to, I guess, briefly summarize what we said a little bit, like, think it's a winnable fight for Jag, for Jessica Aguilar, but at the same time, it's
Danielle Taylor.
the Danielle Taylor fight.
One. She's a tough one.
We know how Danielle Taylor fights can be just a difficult fighter to, figure out. So, yeah, looking forward to the return and potentially revival of one Jessica Aguilar. So, and I am think I will still try and catch up with her before that or after, especially if she wins. But at the same time, I don't want to curse her because she is a Jessica. So I'm a little on the fence about it. We will see where that goes. I'm going to
reach out and say, don't talk to Drake.
Yeah, good idea. I mean, she follows me, so she might know about it already. I mean, after we talked the first time. So I don't know. We will see. But anyway, last news of the day. More flyweight news. Lots of flyweight stuff lately, dude. Have you realized that? So much stuff's happening at flyweight.
Yeah. Flyweight bangers. Molly McCann, Meatball Molly's back. She'll be taking on Laura Procopio in February. Another fucking February fight. So far away.
Yeah. I know they're really booking them out, and I wonder, we don't obviously know where the location of these are.
This one might be in Fight Island, though. You would think, right?
Yeah, I would. I don't think that Molly's fights the fights that she had recently, they were at Fight Island. I'm pretty sure the Santos one that was on the first stretch of Fight Island.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I don't know. We will see. That there's no really news about that or anything. But
yeah.
as
And they're
for this,
supposed to start up tough too at some point.
oh yeah. Speaking of that, we actually missed that from Yusuf here. Let me pull that up real just because we mentioned it. So Yusuf.
The only thing that can be delaying Rose versus Whaley is if they are planning to make them tough coaches, which would actually be quite fun because they're not really like there's not a lot of access to either of them. I mean, maybe in China, Whaley is more seen, but here, like, we don't see a ton from her other than what she posts on social media. Rose has always been kind of a recluse. She doesn't really say much at all.
Yeah. And because of that though, I think that's a reason why she wouldn't do it.
Why they wouldn't do it
And
exactly? Like it would be. I think it would be fun for them to do it because they're both smart fighters and they would be able to coach. They would be good coaches, you know, on tough. They would be fun, but there wouldn't be like a beef between the two. It wouldn't. It
no.
sure in the fuck wouldn't be Ronda Rousey and Misha Tate.
No. And also, Whaley's English is improving a lot, obviously, but I don't know if it's good enough to coach people.
Yeah.
So,
Well, she would have
um,
a translator there with her. She would have people there with her.
yeah, but that
It
hurts
would
the
be a
flow
good
of everything.
opportunity. It would be a good opportunity for her to
Yeah.
be seen by by fans not in Asia.
Yeah. You're totally right. I don't necessarily think that's the reason for the delay.
No, I don't think so
I
either.
feel like with Rose, she's a little bit of a not a perfectionist, but somebody who wants to make sure that everything is kind of in order. Like she does shit on her own time, kind of, like she doesn't care if it affects. She'll do what she needs to essentially, right? Like whatever is best for her, and why not do what's best for you? So, I think that's probably what the holdup is. And
Because
I mean, but
she absolutely hates being pushed. That's not who she
yeah,
is. She doesn't like being told, uh, you got to do this now and all that. She doesn't like media. She's very awkward.
and yeah, I mean, a little sheltered, and I mean, she already did do Ultimate Fighter, like she was actually on it.
Yeah,
So
she was actually on Ultimate Fighter. It would be dope for her to be a coach though.
yeah,
I think she would do
so
phenomenal as a coach, to be honest. I think once she got into getting into it, I think she would be very good at it. I just don't see her necessarily taking that jump. She wants to be home with Pat Barry. I, I mean, that's who she is,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
fine, which is totally fine.
Hmm.
It works for her. Whatever works for these fighters.
Yep, no doubt about that. But
Sema said, "I'd be shocked if they went for that. Rose hates media obligations. Yeah, and Whaley's language barrier will likely fall foul of the intolerant MMA fandom. Can't see it working. I don't know about that. I think that um, I think that people are open minded to Whaley um, because she is learning. I mean, look at Josie Aldo. He's never learned one word of English,
yeah,
and people still love him.
yeah.
At least Whaley's trying to learn, and she's actually doing well with it.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just like I said, I think the just the whole flow of the whole process. I don't know if it would work. I'm trying to think of like, I mean, other coaches who were maybe at a similar level of English and whatnot, but it wasn't their first language. And I guess the first person that came to mind was Claudia, but I feel like her English was probably a little bit better
Vanderlei
than
Silva.
Haley's. Yeah, but they were also that was tough Brazil though. So I mean, and
Yeah,
Vanderlei Silva's English is pretty good. He has a very harsh accent. He knows English pretty
it's
well.
hard to fucking understand.
Yeah, he's just kind of his nose is smashed. His nasally.
He's hard to understand.
Yeah.
I like him.
So, but yeah, we will see. Hopefully, we hear some more about both of those things soon.
Dude,
As
we've been saying that for like months now. Like we want to hear something about Whaley. When is it happening?
I know, right? Dying for it. But yeah, not too much to say about Molly versus Procopio. I mean, I still think it's a bit silly matchmaking just because of Molly climbed her way up and was getting these
I think
ridiculous
it's terrible for Molly.
fights, and then they kind of throw her way back down the chute, if you want to say. So is what it is. I think she'll be able to rebound, but Procopio's tough. Just I don't think she's shown to be that great yet. And Molly, I mean, they're both looking to rebound, but we'll see. It is what it is. I feel like I've been saying that a lot tonight, but it it is.
If it is what it is, then it is what it is.
Exactly. Thank you.
I misunderstood stamina. Fans love Aldo and Whaley Exeter as fighters. A tough show has them doing none of the things people love them for, which takes the shine off. I I don't know. I I thought who were the last coaches for Tough?
Um, for 28,
Who were they?
it wasn't DC and Stipe, was it?
No.
Let me see. Top 28 coaches. Can't even remember.
I know. It's been so long for Tough.
Oh, it was Whitaker and Gastelum. It's because they didn't
That
fight.
was
That's why.
That's because they didn't fight. That's right. But they were
Crazy.
good coaches. They were good coaches, right?
Yeah, yeah. I thought they were pretty solid. Yeah.
Yeah. Tough. It's weird. It's a weird show. It's like you either like it or you don't. I could do without all the house shit and just watch fights.
Yeah. I mean, it's just run its course is the whole thing about it.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
it's just it's like too unique of a situation, you know, especially for this day and age. Like it was super cool in the beginning, but
yeah.
it's just so out there, kind of.
People just aren't into the reality TV as much as they were. I
Yeah,
feel. I don't know. I've never been one to watch reality TV at all, but I watch Tough just because
fighting.
of fighting. You know, I don't know. I would never not watch Tough just because of fighting, I guess. But I could see what Salmon is saying that it would take the shine off. I could see it.
Yeah, and yeah, that's good. That is true.
Gastelum was good. Whitaker wasn't too invested in any of it. Is Whitaker really invested in anything?
Himself.
I mean, I like him. I mean, I really do like him as as a fighter and whatever else. He's a good dude, right? He's a good guy, and in general, like a good guy. But does he really get invested in anything other than maybe his family?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Hmm.
invest in what's important.
Yeah, I mean, which is fucking amazing.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah,
So-
Stamina, you're right. Gastelum was good on that show. Damn,
it's because he was on it, right?
it seems like so long ago.
I know.
Christ,
It really does. But
crazy.
all right. So let's move on to the ending portion of the show, previews and what to watch for, which we have something to watch for tomorrow. Something very interesting.
Yeah, I didn't
I would
realize.
say.
I knew that she was fighting soon. I didn't realize that it was actually tomorrow.
Yeah.
Frank Mir's daughter, uh, Bella Mir, is making her MMA debut. I guess tomorrow night. Icon Fight Federation against Danielle Wynn. I did not realize that this was tomorrow night. I knew it was coming up though.
Yep, live on Fight Pass
And
for
on the Fight
everybody.
Pass. Yeah, wild. She's only
So
17.
17 years old, making her professional debut. A little bit surprised that this is being allowed in America. You never really see that. We've seen it in Japan and Canada before, plenty of times and whatnot. But
I think this is in Mexico, bro.
oh, is it because of the?
No, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
it does say right on the banner. It says Mexico.
Where does it say it? Oh,
It
under
says
the
October
22nd.
22nd. Yeah.
Got you.
Here, let me.
I
pull
just
it up.
remembered seeing that it was in Mexico or something.
Mexico
When I read
playoff
it.
events, huh? How about that? Let me. Let's see. Of course, it's not coming up now.
What time are these fights? Do you know?
I don't know, but obviously, if you go right to Tapology, they'll have them. So yeah, I mean, this is a very interesting thing. Obviously, Frank Mir's daughter. That's the big highlight of all of this. And why is it not saying where? Oh, San Carlos, Sonora, Mexico. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting, that aspect of it. So yeah, just completely skipping amateurs here, and she's taking on Danielle Wynn. Obviously, you can't do a real breakdown for this. Just pointing it out as something to watch for. But taking on Danielle Wynn, who is 4-3 as an amateur, so that's a decent amount of experience, to have over 17-year-old who's never fought before, has a wrestling background, and then her dad's Frank Mir, so surely she knows some jits. We're gonna say some jits, right? Not sure exactly what Danielle Wynn's background is, but she has some experience. She's 33. This could very well go terribly, terribly bad for Bella Mir, but I think she's got a pretty good person in her corner to help her out. So it's very intriguing. And yeah, definitely something to keep your eye on. Can't give a prediction though, because we've never seen her fight before.
Yeah, so that card is just like the icon card, the first icon card. They do a mixture of boxing and MMA.
Okay.
So the first or the main event is boxing, but there's some MMA thrown in there.
Okay, that's cool.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 MMA fights, and 2, 4, 5 boxing.
Wow. Mixing it up. Combat sports on a Thursday in Mexico.
6 o'clock our time, Drake.
All right, so Pacific time for everybody who hopes to watch. Yeah, that'll be interesting. See how it goes for her. That is our what to watch for before we get to the preview, the biggin, the big kibosh. Let's kick it off.
UFC 254 preview. Miranda Maverick is taking on Liana Jojua. This is a really interesting fight, I feel. Oh, God.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it. No words.
It's annoying. It annoys the shit out of me. Fucking every time, dude. Like, I try not to get, like, pissy about it or whatever, but then, like, I see it, and they don't have a picture of Miranda Maverick. I get she's making her debut. I understand, but
She was supposed to make it like 2 months ago.
but there's been time for them to put a picture of her. Oh, so annoying.
Jojua versus Brian Ebersol.
So do you think that Jojua wins this fight?
Oh, absolutely not. No. No.
Even after her last fight?
No. I think this is borderline a lock. And yes, yeah, I know. Jojua did surprise us a bit in that last fight, but there's levels to this. Belbita is not Miranda Maverick. Belbita was finding success before her fight IQ disappeared. And she went to the ground and got caught in the armbar. Beautiful armbar by Liana Jojua. Cannot take anything away from her there. But Miranda Maverick is a proven tank at flyweight and a well-deserved spot in this UFC flyweight division. We've been kind of singing her praises for a good while now, and she's really took that next step up in showing how ready she is for this by dominantly beating Pearl Gonzalez, who, since leaving the UFC has had a resurgence of her own. Maverick is just, I think she's better everywhere and has fought easily better competition. Just everything is in her favor, I think, for this one. I'd be surprised to see what the odds are for this because I think that she should probably be a pretty decent favorite. The only chance Jojua has is catching her in something when she gets sloppy, but Maverick is not a very sloppy fighter, and her losses have been in fights where she's kind of been bullied from what I'm remembering. I think, the Deanna Bennett one was her most recent loss, and Deanna Bennett is kind of a rare breed of grinder, at least in the flyweight division. That is absolutely not Jojua whatsoever. So, yeah, I think this is just a walk in the park for Miranda for the first time, and I think she's pretty amped up and motivated for any fight, but for her UFC debut and finally getting to make it after she was supposed to have it already in the past, a couple months ago or whatever, a month and a half, however long it's been. I think she's just going to be, this could be a showcase for her, and I'm very excited to see it because Maverick is awesome.
She's a beast.
Jojua still has potential, of course, but I think it's just timing. The timing is not right for her. It is the Maverick's time to be feared. Fear the Maverick. So I think
should be.
Yeah, I think Maverick by I would say second round submission.
Nice. Yeah, I would think that Miranda Maverick wins this fight. She's talented, man. Like, she's powerful. She has power. She finishes fights. She's pretty well rounded.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean she is learning. I mean, she can learn. Everybody can learn. But what we've seen from her is phenomenal. I think she's UFC ready. I think that this is...
And for her age, too. She's really
up
there for her age.
I think that she's been UFC ready. Jojua might have a long night ahead of her. It's being built. It's just taking a long time. It's like, I don't know how long the London Bridge took to build, but it's probably going to take longer than that between UFC and I. We just don't get along. We don't see eye to eye on things. Kind of like the UFC is kind of like an ex of mine. I don't love him anymore. But I can't keep him out of my mind, And then I see things and it triggers me. This is kind of what it is.
Damn, that got sad. This took a sad turn. Stamina, look what you've done to us. Bringing out the emotion. But yeah, we were both on that Maverick train and have been for a while. Not going to stop riding it now.
Fuck no. Jojua is going to get pounded on, man. Poor girl.
Do you have the odds? What were you looking up?
No, I don't have the odds. I was actually looking up the UFC 254 card.
Okay.
I just know that
I
Habib's
got
on
it right
there.
here, bro. It's at the bottom.
I just know that Habib's on there, and fuck, I can't wait. I
You
can't.
got your junior papaka.
I love it. I love it. Oh my god, it still smells like sheep and everything.
Sheep head.
I'm a sheephead. Okay.
I'm actually curious for the odds on both of these fights.
Yeah, why isn't it taking me the odds? What the hell? Okay, Joshua plus 325. Wow. Miranda Maverick is minus 450. Holy shit.
Pretty good. Pretty good. I think that's probably perfect.
Damn. That's crazy because Miranda Maverick, this is her UFC debut.
Yeah.
And she's coming in at high odds.
Yeah, that's some respect for her. It's good to see.
For sure.
Surprising to see.
Love to see that.
So definitely wouldn't toss. I mean, at those odds, you could toss a little something on Joshua just because she could catch something, but I might be a little waste of money. Don't bet anything too crazy, that's for sure.
Yeah,
I would say.
I wouldn't take that bet. I mean, she did get what was in an armbar her last fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did pull off that armbar. I mean, it was nice. It was actually really beautiful, to be honest. I just don't see it happening against Murphy. I just really don't, right? Like it.
No.
Yeah, she's too good, man. She's too good.
Yeah, I mean, if it's gonna be, I mean, she's not even fighting Murphy, so if she gets her there, then.
Oh, did I say Murphy?
Yeah.
I meant that.
I know. I had to get you.
We're talking about Murphy coming up, though.
Talking about Murphy right now. Moving on.
So, Lauren Murphy, who we've talked about a few times already on this show, throughout the show, is taking on Lilia Shakarova, who obviously doesn't have a picture, but at least it's a female picture.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
At least they gave her that.
The Misha Tate. The Misha Tate noob Cybot.
That's cool. That's cool. So the odds are for Murphy minus 240. Shakarova is at plus 190. So
wow.
Right? So much closer, much closer. And they're not giving the respect to Lauren Murphy. I mean, they are with a minus 240, but they're much closer odds.
So I will tell you right now, I agree with these odds, but I expected it to be bigger. And either way, bigger, smaller, whatever these odds are at, Shakarova as the underdog. I'm going to tell you right now, put something down on it. Put something down on it. I'm not picking Shakarova to get this win here, get this upset. But I'm telling you, I think that it is definitely possible. And I will tell you why. So Shakarova coming in here, 8-1. She really has not fought too great of competition overall. I mean, there's some good names in here that she has beat, like Mangbo, who notoriously has the one loss on Weili's record in their debut fights. But that was actually an amateur bout, according to both of them. Na Liang, you know, there's a couple names on here that are good. Her last two fights, though, kind of mismatches, but good performances from Lilia Shakarova. The experience clearly in Lauren Murphy's favor, but there's something about this fight. It reminds me a lot of Moros versus JoJo. You remember back then, JoJo was shoo-in for the next title shot. Supposed to take on Joanna at strawweight. Then they match her up with the debuting Moros. I thought this was a replacement. I had to look it up before, but apparently they just made this fight for whatever reason. I'd have to go back in my time machine and find out. But Moros wasn't a replacement, but they wanted to give JoJo this showcase fight in Poland because that card was in, I think it was in Poland or somewhere in Europe, and Joanna was in the crowd, you know, front row seat and everything. This was supposed to be JoJo walking through her, right? A setup fight to bolster that title shot. Then Moros upsets her in like a minute, gets the armbar. Everyone's like, "Whoa, where did this come from?" I get similar vibes to the comparisons here, and not that we would see a submission from Shakarova because that's not much of her thing. She's seems to be more of a striker, kind of a defensive wrestler, at least from what I've seen. And
Yeah.
her striking, she's got pretty solid striking. I like the way that she moves in and out to strike. It's usually kind of one strike at a time, but she hits very hard and stiff with her shots, and that's something that's kind of notable in the flyweight division. And if she can, keep putting things together and defend, Murphy's obviously going to have the size advantage. It's a tough matchup, no doubt about it, but I think that she has the ability to do very good here, and she seems very confident. It's a very unique moment for her, coming in short notice. That could help or hurt her. She said she's already been studying. Let's put it this way: she knows more about Murphy than Murphy knows about her, which that's not a surprise, right? So I think that this is going to be really interesting, with all the elements surrounding it, and I don't think it's a bad bet to throw something down on her. But that being said, how do you not pick Lauren Murphy as your prediction? Because Lauren Murphy is absolutely she's on a tear right now with that 3-fight winning streak that she has going, looking better than ever. Is really determined, kind of pissed off that Andrade is essentially going. She just knows that it's going to happen, that she's getting skipped over. The fact that she's losing out on beating Cynthia Calvillo, that hurts. Murphy's just a great grappler. If she should be able to bully Shakarova if she gets a hold of her and everything. But if Shakarova can do her thing, keep it at distance, take those strikes, those hard shots, one at a time, pick Murphy apart, I mean, man, it could be a bit of a surprising, a coasting to decision, I think, for Shakarova if she's to pull off the upset. I think Lauren Murphy is too goddamn tough to finish. We have yet to see it. If anyone's going to do it, I don't know who it would be. Obviously, maybe Andrade or Valentina, but
Yeah.
she's very tough. Former bantamweight, I have to see now for sure if she has been finished or not, because I doubt it. So yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said, Lauren Murphy, undeniably the better fighter, more skilled fighter, has fought better competition. All these things are in her favor. This is why it's a replacement fight, all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, Murphy, she needs to dominate this to have her claim for the title shot still, as we said earlier on in the night. And I think she should be able to do it. My official pick will be Murphy by round 2 submission, I think. But I do like the possibility for an upset here. I think things just line up a little bit, for it, but it's not a wise prediction. But I think it's a worthwhile bet.
That would be such a bummer for Murphy if she lost to somebody not known by many people. I mean, you look at the rankings and she's ranked number 5 in the flyweight rankings right now. And she's fighting an unranked opponent.
Yeah,
that's a big loss. If she were to lose, that's
shakes
massive...
the shit out of the division. Shakes the shit out of it. Shakarova jumping up there.
Crazy. She can make a name for herself off of this one fight.
Yeah.
Do we see it? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, MMA is crazy, man. This is why we watch for crazy shit to happen. And I mean, can it happen? It can happen. Well, Lauren Murphy might bring out the Bar Murphy in this fight. She's gonna try to prove a point where,
oh yeah,
she should be fighting for a title shot. She should be close to a title shot, not fighting some no-name. But fighting a no-name, you can get beat by that no-name. If she doesn't make this her fight, her grinding fight, she might get pieced up a little bit. And we might see a crazy shakeup like what you said in the rankings afterward. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that Lauren Murphy's too smart. She's on a roll right now. She's doing great. I just don't see her losing this fight. I mean, she's in title contention at this point. She's worthy of a title fight. Shakarova, I mean, she's not really known to a lot of people. I mean, I bet not a lot of people know who she is.
No, probably not.
Yeah, but here she is. She jumps onto a pay-per-view, the one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year. Dana White is saying
Main card too.
On the main card, Dana White is saying that UFC 254 is pulling in massive numbers, and when he says that, he's typically right. He doesn't just throw some bullshit out there usually with those numbers. The UFC has been keeping their numbers in, you know, since they've gone to ESPN, they haven't really let those numbers out. But every time that Dana White says that pay-per-view is doing well, it does well. So this could be a big notable win for Shakarova if she beats Lauren Murphy.
Yeah, she could make it so people want to see her in contention, you know? I mean,
rather
than
freaking Jessica Ai.
Well, yeah.
And
No
Dawn
doubt about that.
Calderwood, Roxanne Modafferi.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, too, you got to think, if she wins this fight, and especially if she wins, well, shit, I mean, if she wins at all. If she wins even by split decision, very close fight, robbery,
Doesn't
who
even
knows
matter
that
how
is.
she wins.
She
Doesn't
gets
matter
the
how she
win. She's literally a fight away from a title shot. Match her
wins.
with the winner of this fight, match with Calvillo. Then you got your next contender, because beating a streaking Lauren Murphy, that's a big deal. High risk, low reward here for Murphy.
Yeah, it's
everything to gain for Shakarova.
I don't know why Murphy took this fight.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see if it pays off. But
yeah, I mean, last time we saw this happen, we talked about Calderwood.
Yeah.
And then she got beat by Jennifer Maia, and Maia is now fighting for the title soon. Whereas Calderwood is fighting Jessica Ai, apparently.
Yeah, exactly.
I still assert they should have just changed Andrade's flight home and had her fight Murphy this weekend. Hey, Lauren, you think Jessica is jumping in the line? Send her to the back if you can. Yeah.
That's a hell of an idea. It would have been cool if they could pull it off, but I don't think too close in timing. I like it though. I like it a lot.
That'd be pretty freaking wild.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
But yeah, I don't know about that. So, yep, we agree on both of these fights. Much more confident in Maverick. I mean, I'm very confident in Murphy as well, but I like the potential for an upset a lot better there.
Better than the Jojua. Yeah. We're just high on Maverick.
Yeah.
Alexander, welcome. I'm kind of cheering for Shakarova just because of how crazy it would be. Yeah,
I know. I love those moments.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to see some blank canvas beating a ranked fighter?
Yeah, I mean, it would be very 2020. It would be
wild.
Very 2020. So, yep, that is UFC 254 for ya. Ayo. So, all right. We did it.
We did it, homeboy. We did it.
We did it. What do you got going on, Steve? Let the great people know.
I'm gonna watch Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Smash.
Smash. Absolutely smash. I don't know. I like Gaethje. Of course, I like Gaethje. He's fun. He's exciting. He does backflips and stuff.
Do backflips
off the top of the cage. That's cool. But I mean, Khabib smash. Right?
Smash, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Aside from that, though, anything going on?
Aside from
Any
that,
MMA inks? Not something new?
Devin Powell. I'm gonna do Devin Powell soon.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, coming up this week sometime. I have another fighter coming. I talked about was on vacation or whatever, and then one was on a honeymoon. Those are coming up soon. I hope. I mean, the honeymoon should be over by now. Should be home. Should be talking about fights and your tattoos.
Of course.
So let's do that. But yeah, Devin Powell's coming up this week on MMA Inc. If you have not checked it out, that's where I talk to fighters about their tattoos. Hence the name MMA Inc. That's right here on YouTube. Search MMA Inc. Please like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it.
Sounds so enthusiastic. But yes, I agree with them. Give MMA Inc. a follow. Give him a follow at SteveK_MMA on Twitter. Give me a follow at DrakeRiggs_. That is on Twitter as well as Instagram. Follow The Scrap. Of course, we're on The Scrap broadcasting here. The Scrap's channel, The Scrap on Twitter. The Scrap News on Twitter at The Scrap News. My YouTube channel, Drake Riggs, just my name essentially. My Twitter's the main spot, of course. And what I got going on coming out. Well, if you did not see, recently dropped my chat with the one and only Yan Xiaonan. Fantastic stuff there. A true honor to be graced by her presence, of course. Getting to speak with two of my favorite fighters in the same week. Awesome, Kanako and Yan. But that is out now on myMAnews.com. I would dare say my most dramatic story title yet, The Blood Quest.
Drama. The drama. The Drake drama.
So much drama. So that is out now. Please check that out. Big drama show. And, plenty of video content being done on the Body Lock. As always, some discussion there. Other podcast type stuff. And other interviews being worked on. And coming soon, interview I did with the most recent Invicta FC flyweight champion, Vanessa Porto, new Bellator signee, of course. So very excited for that. That will be also on myMAnews.com. Great discussion there, talking about her career and everything. And of course, I have to give a big, amazing, monstrous shout out to our man Alexander here, who actually helped me translate that interview as we did it, similar to Broadened Horizon style. Big time shout out to our man Alexander, coming in clutch with the help on that. He did a phenomenal job, you guys. So look forward to that. Please check it out. Of course, for Vanessa and Alexander and his great job translating. And we hope to do more stuff with other Brazilian fighters, Portuguese speakers in the future, depending on who. But yeah, so Porto coming out soon. And, some other stuff in the works as always, you guys. Yeah. So
really quick, we forgot a Twitter question, dude.
Oh shit.
From Abul, Abs Talks. Who do you think would be a good opponent for Tatiana when she returns?
Oh, that is a great question. Thank you to him.
How did we even forget that?
I think I'm gonna stand by.
She's out of the rankings now.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, slot her back in fucking when she comes back.
It's a top 5, right?
What's that, at 5?
Yeah, against a top 5 opponent.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to stick with what I think we should do, which is her versus Joanna. I think that's the perfect fight. The perfect test for her. Yeah, I mean, it just depends on what Joanna's going to be doing and when Tatiana comes back. But I think Tatiana versus Joanna main event, that's absolutely perfect. Obviously, a very tough comeback fight for Tatiana after such a serious injury. But it's perfect at the same time. I don't know.
We just really want to see Tatiana at this point, right? Like against anybody. Yeah. I don't even care at this point.
If you had to pick, though, give the man an answer. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Joanna would be the fun matchup to make. I like that fight with Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
And if she's gonna hold out for fans and whatnot, and let's assume that Tatiana can come back
Carla
soonish.
Esparza.
No, I don't want to see that rematch just yet. I mean, fuck, maybe. So many options. I was gonna say,
Gedalia, but she's number 5.
well, Gedalia versus Jan is happening. So that's what I was gonna say is maybe the winner of that fight,
We
depending
don't even
on
know, when Tatiana is coming back. It's so
yeah,
hard. These
depending on
Tatiana
that.
questions, like we all like to talk about Tatiana. Like I love talking about Tatiana, but it's really hard because we just don't know anything. We just don't know when she's gonna come back.
Yeah, and then when Rose versus Whaley is gonna happen. So
Oh my god, that's another one that needs to fucking just be made and booked so that we can all have a peace of mind when it comes to that.
yep, no doubt about it. But I think in an ideal, perfect world, it's that Joanna matchup. So thank you for that question, sir. Yeah, so everything's so up in the air with some of these strawweight elites, right? So
Yeah,
crazy, crazy.
yeah, I don't know. It's crazy what has happened with Tatiana Suarez. Suarez might have to take her fight back at 125 warm up vibes. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know what's gonna happen with her, man.
That'd be, geez, another cool addition to flyweight. But fuck, there's still so much for her to do at strawweight. So many people to fight. Who
Yeah,
knows? Who knows? But
yeah. Who knows how she's gonna feel? Like what weight is gonna be right for her after all this? I don't know, man. So
big
many
drama show.
big drama show. So many questions concerning Tatiana Suarez, but thank you for the questionable. Thank you to Stamina. Thank you, Yusuf. Thank you, Alexander. Thank you, Head Kick Audio, and whomever else is out there not talking to us in the chat, but watching us every week. Thank you so much for watching Drake and I talk women's MMA and everything else. See y'all next week. Enjoy the fights.
Peace.
Peace. Go Habib.